What's going down on your side of town? This is your host with the most on the Holy Roast, where the fruits of the Spirit are a little bit caffeinated.
I know nothing about Saint Valentine. I assume he's the patron saint of overpriced greeting cards. That's an odd ritual, really. You know, we go out and we buy cards that already have things written in them.
So the question of the day on this day of Valentine is, who really was Saint Valentine? Well, let me tell you, Saint Valentine, aka San Valentino de Terni, was an Italian priest who ministered to those who were persecuted Christians. And this was around 3rd century AD. And he secretly performed weddings during this time when this Emperor Claudius made marriage illegal because he wanted the men to fight war instead of get married and have wives. The emperor also really hated Christians, and he followed his little family's tradition of straight up executing anybody he found that was worshiping Christ. Hey. One of such unfortunate Christ followers was Saint Valentine. And guess what? He got sent to jail. And that jail was run by this guy named Asterius, who had a daughter who was blind, and her name was Julia. Now, Valentine was he was this pretty smart guy. I mean, he, in his jail cell, taught the jailer's daughter, Julia, math, science, and of course, things about God. Now, unfortunately, Saint Valentine was ultimately sentenced to death by beheading on, you guessed it, February 14th of 269 AD. And his skull still remains today. You could see it in St. Mary's Basilica. So now you know about the beheading. Now let's talk about the blindness. So on the day that Valentine was beheaded, he prayed that Julia, the jailer's daughter, would be cured of her blindness. And guess what? God answered Valentine's prayer, and she was healed. For the first time, she could see. And Valentine also left a little note in his jail cell, and he signed it, "Your Valentine." See, being someone's Valentine was never about the Louis Vuitton bags. It was never about the 5-star restaurants. It was about loving someone enough to be praying for them, knowing darn well that they would eventually execute you. Pretty gruesomely, too. See, that's the love, man. That's the love that the Bible teaches. See, most of the Bible was written in Greek. And there's actually 3 different words that the Bible uses in Greek that we translate as love. The first is eros, or where we get the word erotic. And that's the, the sexual stuff, the shoddy got that fly, I'm going to stop there. That's not the love that Valentine was showing, all right? Now, there's also the phileo love. That's where we get the city Philadelphia, city of brotherly love. Even though it's ironic that that's a very crime-ridden city. Anyway, phileo is the, bro to bro, sis to sis. That's not even the love that Valentine was talking about. Valentine was displaying agape. And agape, that's that unconditional love, man. That's that unconditional love that God's talking about in good old-fashioned verse of the ever, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he sent his only son to die so that everyone who believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Guys, happy Valentine's Day. And know that no matter what guy or girl gets you those amazing flowers, you have a Valentine in heaven that loves you so much that he would die for you. And that is today's episode of The Holy Roast.